Black Alpha Network, home of Black excellence.
One love, family. Black AlphaCast, Black Alpha Network. Before you do anything else, subscribe to the channel and bang them notifications so everybody knows we in here, no doubt. Today is going to be one of our best episodes. We're going to talk about the Black Decoy, and we're going to get right to it. How to identify them and how to spot them. Oh yeah. Hey, we're going to pull some motherfuckers paperwork today. Paperwork getting pulled out. For all the people who try to put their little mask on, slide in between us, hide behind us. Oh, we gonna get them today. Oh, we running them straight up off the block. They got 24 hours. If your paperwork ain't right, your ass is getting checked. We G-checking everybody. I don't give a fuck if it's a celebrity or if it's a regular Joe. If your movements is real sketchy, real shifty, if you doing some real funny style shit, them red flags go up, your ass is getting checked. And we doing the checking. Cause one thing for sure, two things for certain, certified black society don't go for that. Certified black society don't play that. We gonna draw a line right in the motherfucking sand. All the real ones over here and all the fake ones over there. And it's gotta be done. So go ahead, bang that subscribe button, get you a motherfucking seat. If you got a drink, go get it, pull up, and let's get to pulling some motherfuckers paperwork. Yeah, a lot of these people that we done seen, that been real funny style, that been real shifty, a whole bunch of sketchy ass movements, we gonna get them. Anybody you done seen that made your motherfucking eyebrow go up, threw some flags up, we gon' check them. Anybody you done seen say some shit like power to the people and then try to shift the energy to another group, we gon' check them. Trying to serve other people's agendas and mix it in with blackness, we gon' check them. Every little sneak, snake, devious, deceitful shit they be on, we gon' check them. So basically, they can run, they can hide, they can bob, they can weave, but they gon' catch this work because it ain't safe out here for no decoy. And we gon' show them how we do things on the BLACK side. So let's get to pulling some motherfuckers paperwork right now, and let's get to running them up off of our block. Whose block is that? That block belongs to all my brothers, sisters, kings, queens, the goddess, and the gods. Let's get it. All right, yes indeed, everybody. Welcome back to the Black AlphaCast, the one and only. It's that time again. I told you we was gonna be direct. Well, we gonna be real motherfucking direct today. Let's talk about these black decoys. They everywhere. You know the motherfuckers that look funny in the light? The motherfuckers whose words just never add up. They contradict what they say. They say this, they say that. They go one way, they go the other. And nobody really fucks with them. They always rub you the wrong way. And then when you do a little more research, you see why. You see that they a bunch of bullshit. That's who we gonna talk about. And as I say that, y'all probably got about 10 motherfuckers going through your head right now. Right now. We all do. We all done seen somebody running around here talking that pro-black shit, but ain't really adding up. We done all seen a motherfucker running around here talking all that liberation and using all of our words and our terms, but they shit don't ever make sense. We can't ever motherfucking vibe with them. You know these strange faces that be amongst us? Yeah, all these strange people. Can't nobody account for them. Don't know their resume. Never seen them before. Don't know how they got here. All of a sudden they show up with all these badges and they show up with all this fake clout. Yeah, gotta watch for them. Gotta watch out for all these agents, for all these decoys, for all these provocateurs. Y'all know whenever we got a riot or a march or a rally, these people show up and they start breaking windows. They start showing up and causing all this confusion, causing all this mayhem. These people don't even be a part of us. These people don't even be a part of the movement. They come, they do their dirt, and then they leave. Who were they? How'd they get here? Who let them in? Is there somebody on the inside letting these people in? Or the people who are on the inside are the ones doing the dirt? Gotta watch it. And we're gonna break them all down today because we done seen them before. It'd be a crowd. There'd be 100 real ones in the crowd and you can point out 4 or 5 of them who don't look like they belong. And they always got funny questions. They always wanna poke and prod and see what our next move is. That's how you spot them. They always come up and say, so what are you guys up to next, huh? Where you marching at? Oh, you're marching over there? What time? 5? 5 o'clock? Who's all gonna be there? What's your name? Social security number. When were you born? What sign are you? A Scorpio? A Leo? Tell me more. Yeah. When the motherfucker starts to talking to you like that, flags go up. One time, and I'm not gonna say when, I'm not gonna say who. One time I went to go see a real black leader talk one time. Got to meet him, chopped it up with him, everything was good. Met him personally. And when I went to go see him, when I first walked in, I'm talking about everybody you seen on the way in was everybody you seen on the way out. Black folks is in there shaking hands, hugging each other, all strangers. We never met each other, but we were showing each other a lot of love. And then you start to notice a couple people that didn't really look like they should have been there. Their energy was off. You ever just see somebody and their energy is just off? And their energy is completely different and completely separate from the whole crowd. Their energy is completely separate from the group. The group be over here on some positive, good vibrations, and this one person just got a real defeated, negative, real sneaky vibe. That's what I noticed from this person. And there's a little situation that happened and everybody ran outside. Not gonna say who, not gonna say where. Everybody ran outside and everybody had to go get their cars because their cars were being totaled. Then you look up and those same people that you saw, they weren't there anymore. Gone, vanished, poof, thin air, disappeared. Now every other motherfucker that you seen on the way in were the same people you seen on the way out. We was talking to brothers. I seen the man on his phone. I said, hey bro, who went in the basketball game? He said, the Cavaliers are winning. I said, all right, bet that. But everybody else, we never saw them folks again. I'm talking about we seen grandmothers, kids, young folks. Seen them when we walked in, talked to them on the way out, all love. But these other motherfuckers, gone. Funny style, right? You know what they was? They was decoys. What were they there for? They was there to get a good feel for our energy. Get a good feel for what we're talking about. Get a good feel for what page we on, what wave we ride. And that is the game they play. And that's why we keep our eyes on them. You know who I'm talking about. Because who you talking about is probably who I'm talking about. We probably talking about the same people because we see the same shit. We all see it because we got that eye. Remember, we deep with it. We see shit that these other motherfuckers don't see. They come around certified blacks and they try to pull that little mirage and put their mask on. They fucking with the wrong ones. They fucking with the wrong ones because we see shit from a mile away. We too thorough with our game and our eyes are too strong. So therefore, when they come around on that decoy shit, we know how to spot them. We know how to spot them. And it's got to be like this because these decoys have always been around the black community. Always. From Africa to the plantation, from the plantation to the block, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You got decoys on motherfucking TikTok. This is how deep it is. This is how much they try to bring down true blackness. Certified blackness, B1s, I've said it before. We are the only ones they can't fuck with. We are the only ones who are undefeated. We are the only ones who got a code that they can't handle. They scared of our code. So they got to go to these lengths and to these measures to try to bring us down. The best way to try to bring us down is from the inside. How do they try to get on the inside? They got to put a motherfucking mask on. They got to talk like we talk, walk like we walk. So all these agents and all these motherfucking decoys and narcs, we got our eyes on them. So let's talk about it. Anytime you got a community like ours that is always being sabotaged, being undercut, being undermined, where people are always trying to bring us down, you got to have a real structure in place to handle it that checks this shit and stops motherfuckers at the door. You got to gatekeep. You got to regulate. Race regulators, like we always talking about right here. Because if not, shit gonna get fucked up and shit gonna get real messy. Like we've all seen. We've all witnessed it because they out here. See, what they want to do is they want to slide in, they disrupt us, they perpetrate us, and then they cause confusion. Oh yeah, confusion is one of their main tactics. Understand, every coon and every sellout has their own trickery that they do. One motherfuckers may be this, one motherfuckers may be that. It's like having a job title. They all have different purposes for how they serve W supremacy. The decoy, his main thing is infiltration. He has to infiltrate. And once he infiltrates, he harms us from within. That's how he operates. Man, wait, listen, we about to break this shit down today. I told you, pull up your motherfucking seat or turn this shit up. Let's get it. We gonna chop it up for real today. Certified black style, B1. But back at it, infiltration is one of their main tactics. Because see, once they infiltrate, now they can give away intel. Intel is another thing they love. It's very important to them that they know what we're up to, that they know our next move. That's why they always try to send them in. They send them in so they can report the intel of what we're doing back to massa. Run back to the plantation and start snitching on everybody. They be like, hey, massa, they over there talking about economics, massa. They talking about black wealth, massa. Passing wealth down to their kids, massa. I seen them all getting together. I seen them doing this. Look out for that. Watch out for that. I'm here telling you everything I heard, massa. Yes, a boss. And that's the decoy. But like I told you, this is like a job title. One's job is to give away intel, and the other is just to simply cause confusion. Just cause confusion. Keep us scattered, keep us all mixed up, keep us all vague, and they done their job. That's why you got a lot of these people who come to black summits and black meetings and ain't got no motherfucking business being there. Ain't got no business being there. So as you got one person whose whole job is to give intel and snitch, you got another motherfucker who just shows up, causes confusion, and leaves. Leaves in 2 seconds. Walks right out the back door. Then he's walking away laughing. He walking away laughing at all their asses. He walking away laughing like, ha ha ha. I got those silly Negroes to fight each other again. I showed up for 2 seconds and pissed everybody off. Now they're not even talking about black economics anymore. They're not talking about black empowerment anymore. Now they're all just fighting and arguing. Shit, I did my job here. On my way home to my white wife. The master say, you did a good job, Toby. I don't know where I'd be without you, Toby. Thanks for being a good boy. Thanks for telling me all those plans that the black folks were making at that summit. Thanks for telling me all the money black folks are going to get together. Thanks for telling me all the slaves that were going to have a revolt. I appreciate it, Toby. You did a good job, boy. Now here's a butter biscuit. Let me pat you on the head. Why you think all those revolts from the past never happened? Because people were squilling on each other. Who was? The decoy. Listen to Dr. Claude Anderson. He breaks this down. This is one of my favorite lectures from Dr. Claude. This is one of my favorites. And some of these principles are things that stick in my brain all the time. And I tell this to people frequently. Listen to Dr. Claude and how he breaks down how there were so many slave revolts that were going to be made, but were always squealed on by who? Another black person. Who was that other black person? A decoy. Listen.
The way you resist is you don't communicate. You don't compromise your principles. They can never beat you then. And that's how they got overture. They asked him, don't you want some integration? Like they told our leaders the same thing. Now, there were some other blacks who jumped up and said, I'm not going to go for that okie doke. One of the first ones in 1800 was Gabriel Prosser. Gabriel was an extremely smart black guy. He says, I just heard about what Toussaint Overture did down in the islands. And said, if Toussaint can do it, I'm going to do it here. He said, I'm going to do the same thing. And he did some planning and you couldn't believe. He worked, he planned, he schemed. Prosser really worked on his thing. And he planned one of the most devastatingly, strategically well-planned insurrections on earth. Now, before I tell you what he did, let me go back and make this point. I tracked between 1710 and 1860, and we had a possible 150 to 200 possible slave revolts. And in all 150 to 200 of them, a black person squealed in every one of them and got his meritorious manumission and his Willie Lynch badge card. And so when Prosser was trying to pull his together, he planned his scheme. And for the day he was supposed to have his big revolt, would you believe one of the most severe storms that had ever hit Virginia came in and washed out most of the land and roads and bridges, and Prosser's group couldn't get together at their gathering point because they were planning on hitting three things. They were planning on taking over the penitentiary in Richmond. They were planning on taking over the armory, and they were planning on attacking the town and annihilating the town, everybody except the Methodists and the Quakers who had befriended them. The storm struck just as they're going to assemble, and only 300 showed up, and Prosser said, well, since only 300 of us here, let's put it off until next week when the land is dry and clear. And within 3 days, a black person squealed. Prosser was arrested along with 35 of his supporters. They were executed, hanged, and heads chopped off, put on poles. But the two blacks that did the squealing, one was called Tom.
And that was his job. Show up, disrupt, and get the fuck out. That's one of supremacy's favorite tactics. Disruption. Confusion. It ain't all about intel. That's for another motherfucker's job. This job here is to disrupt. And you see people do this all the time. Candace Owens, she's an expert at this. We're gonna get to her ass later. But Candace Owens, prime example. She'll show up to a black summit that she ain't got no business being there. She only does what? Shows her black skin and comes on in. That's why we gotta stop the policy of black skin in your in. Because folks will show up, flash their black skin as a cloak or a badge, and then disrupt. Happy Negroes will say, come on in, let her talk. We gotta stop the policy of just let anybody talk. No, we don't let just any motherfucker talk. We let the real ones talk, and if your ass ain't real, get the fuck out. We do that, they don't. That's why the Candace Owens of the world can do what they do. She'll say a bunch of bullshit that has nothing to do with what we're talking about. She came there with the intentions to disrupt. She came there with the intentions to confuse. She didn't give a fuck about no damn black empowerment. You can look at her and see that. You can listen to her talk for 1 minute and see she ain't certified. But since these folks have everybody come in, everybody get a trophy, they out here handing out black participation trophies. Everybody get a cookie or a ribbon, brownie points, just for showing up. Nah, that ain't how it works. Because when you got this policy of black skin and you're in, if you got black skin, you can come on in, and you don't realize that people use their black skin as a cloak. They use their black skin as a weapon to harm the black community. If you don't understand that, then you don't understand nothing. Check yourself. Go back to the 1950s and the 1960s. We had a thing here in the United States of America called the communists. If anybody knows that, remember that, or study that, that was the Americans versus the Soviet Union. They're in the Cold War. Yes, go back and look at the Cold War. The Soviets and the Americans. Capitalism, communism. The battle between the two of them, which was really just two different forms of W supremacy and which one was going to run the world, which is the same thing we see going on today with America and Russia, Russia and America. It's just one supremacist who talks in this language and one supremacist who talks in that language. But it's the same thing going on then that we see today. But that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother day. You go back to the 50s and 60s, the capitalism, communism battle, there was a heightened sense of paranoia in America. Every third motherfucker, they'd be like, you're a commie. You're a commie. No, you are. Motherfuckers was going to jail about that shit. Matter of fact, Ronald Reagan, he came to fame because he testified, snitched on a bunch of people in Hollywood. He testified. He was like Tekashi 6ix9ine. He was speaking on everybody in Hollywood, snitching on anything that moved. He was giving names and dates. He was tattletelling, straight up. But that's a whole nother one. We'll get on his ass later. And we will. But everybody back then was paranoid as fuck. Telling on each other, ratting on each other, making false claims, and didn't nobody know who was who and what was what. Why was it that way? Because some communists came to America to deliver intel to the Soviets, and some commies came to America just to cause confusion. I know I took you out in the ocean, I'm gonna bring you back to shore. We're gonna wrap this motherfucker all the way around. A lot of those motherfuckers came here and their job was just to have Americans arguing, fighting, fussing, bickering, and pointing the finger at each other. Because when you can get somebody to fight amongst themselves, and when you can get somebody to turn on each other, now they're not focusing on you. And that is what these decoys do and what they've always done to black society. You think it, they thought it, you name it, they played it. You see, America has always used confusion. It's called propaganda. They use that against foreign enemies and they use that against black folks right here, domestic and abroad. All bases covered. They sell you dreams. They tell you that the fakeness is the truth and the truth is fake. They'll stick to that motherfucker even when you expose it, they'll stick to it. That's propaganda, and that's what they specialize in, and that's what these narcs and decoys do on a regular. That's why we have to have a vetting system, a strong vetting system, and we gotta be strict as fuck. Can't be playing, can't be nice, can't give no benefits of the doubt, can't say, well, come on in, he is black, she is black, her skin is dark. Can't do it. You gotta be strict. Can't be no kinda, well maybe, you can come on in, you said a few things I agree with. I mean, we didn't agree with 99.9 things you said, but you said one thing I like, so you can come on in. No, fuck that. Zero tolerance. You want some bullshit, you keep your ass on the outside. You want some sucker shit, you keep your ass on the outside. If you bring up red flags or you got some shifty, sketchy ass behavior, keep your ass on the other side of them doors. You gotta treat it like your house. And we gotta start treating this community like our house. This certified black B1 FBA community, we gotta treat like it's our own personal home. If we start treating our community like it's our own personal home, shit would change overnight. Guarantee you. Guarantee you. Everybody out there who has kids or people like me who don't have kids, use your parents as an example, all right? So if you're a parent, use yourself, and if you do not have kids, use what your parents would have said as an example. Do you think if some motherfucker would have came around your house acting real funny style, acting real suspicious, talking a bunch of off-coded shit, you think your mama and daddy would let him come on in? You think your mom and daddy would say, yeah, you know, I know his ass looks like a liar, he looks like a thief, he looks like he's up to no good, but he's black, come on in, here's the plate. Fuck no. Fuck no. I know my mom and dad wouldn't, and I know yours wouldn't either, because we all one fam. So therefore, we gotta represent this like a fam, and as a fam, we gotta protect this house. How do you do it? You gotta have a code, a strong code. If your code ain't rough, if your code don't hurt some motherfucking feelings, then I got news for you. You ain't really got a code. You ain't really got a code. You just got a mixed bag of emotions. And in this game of anti-black racism, mixed emotions don't get you nowhere. This ain't a game for the weak, this ain't a game for the soft, and this ain't a game for the nice. If your ass fits either one of those descriptions, please raise your hand and we will have a certified come and personally escort your ass to the door. Know that. BLACK. Bang them subscribes, baby. We still pushing. Because what we got to understand is that we are no different than every single black generation of the past. Every single black era of the past. The same black leaders that we study, that we read about, and we learn from, look at all the shit that they went through. And trust me, we're dealing with the same thing now, just our version of it. Is supremacy still here? Yup. Is anti-black racism still here? Yup. Then the same agenda is gonna be here. Straight up and down. Go look at all of our leaders, everybody that we study from, that we've learned from the past. I'm talking about Martin Luther King, the Black Panther Party, Malcolm X, all the way back to Marcus Garvey. We done all heard the stories about them being sold out by people close to them, by people who slithered their way in. You literally have freeze frames of black people standing next to the guy who sold them out. Judas and the Black Messiah. You got photos of Martin Luther King in marches standing right next to the guy who sold him out. Close friends. And obviously, Fred Hampton. That's the real deal. But that's why I love being with the B1 family. That's why I love Certified Black Society, pulling it up, breaking it down, staying focused, because we stay on ours. We stay on ours 25/8. It don't stop. When you stay ready, you ain't got to get ready. And that's our whole motto, and that's why we on one, for sure. They can't break our focus. Can't break our focus, ain't happening. You gotta get stern. You gotta get stern. You would think that a community and a society that has been undercut, sabotaged, and disrupted as much as we have been would have a motherfucking code in place on how to deal with these decoys. You would think that, right? But unfortunately, we never handled that shit. We never handled that. Black society has let a lot of wounds just fester. We done let a lot of things go on unchecked. And we all know what happens when you let things go on unchecked. It gets bigger and bigger and bigger. It stays around longer and longer and longer. And then the next generation has to deal with some shit that they didn't even create. That's why every generation always has to deal with something, because the last motherfuckers let it fester and fester and fester and nobody checked it. Well, we're here to do some checking. Our community has been sold out, lied to, left, right, left, right. Go listen to the Counterfeit Negro episode I did, and then go listen to the Certified season. We broke it all down, all the ways that people done came at us and all the things we done did to combat that. We talk about that clearly. But if you want to get specific, the Black Decoy is somebody we should have always had our eyes on, because he's always been here. But you see, nowadays, these decoys have gotten very clever, and they found different ways to sell our community out. Oh yeah, as we've gotten better and we've learned more and we've empowered ourselves, they've been doing all the same things, just in their own sneak way. There's a yin and a yang to everything. So as one person's being real, another person's being fake. While one person's being direct, another motherfucker's being indirect. As we done got on our game, they done got on their game. A real sneak, snake, backdoor motherfucking way. I'm talking about radio show hosts, Breakfast Club. I'm talking about politicians, Coon Caucus. I'm talking about vice presidents, Kamala Harris. You even got people dressing up to be black so they can infiltrate the black community. Sean King. You know shit that went off the motherfucking rail when other races are dressing up as black people just so they can disrupt the black community. God damn. That's a whole nother motherfucking way of being crazy. Whole nother way. Long are the days of the house Negro who would just come in and say, "What's the matter, boss? We sick?" Now they got motherfucker doing cosplay. They put motherfucking dreads in. They out here throwing up the goddamn West Side. These motherfuckers is on it. And this is what they'll do to bring down, to disrupt, and to cause confusion within the black community. This is the things that they'll do because, like I said before, they scared of us being on code. And when a motherfucker's scared, they'll do the damnedest things. And this is what we have here. We got the clever sellout. People that'll go all the way to the ledge just to bring down one black person. Because that's how serious they are. You feel me? And this is what we got to understand. And that's why our gatekeeping system and our code got to be strict as fuck. If feelings get hurt, good. Matter of fact, I feel the more feelings get hurt, the better your code is. Shit. Put it this way. Would you rather have a code where every motherfucker's happy? Everybody's getting along. Everybody's high-fiving each other and dancing and shit? No. Only time we're always high-fiving and dancing each other is when motherfuckers is having a plantation parade. And that's always followed by some bullshit. It's after a race soldier done took them out. After Ben Crump done showed up. After a Democrat done won the election and they did shit for us. That's when you see all the dancing. So it's been proven. When black folks is out in the street dancing, doing silly shit, you're losing. But when motherfuckers is getting their feelings hurt, that's what wakes them up. I want this shit served to me nice and cold. Because sometimes motherfuckers need a slap in the face. And there ain't nothing better than motherfuckers getting slapped across the face with reality. And that's the shit that I stay on, you stay on, the whole certified black B1 family stays on. We as real as it get. We as real as it get. I'd rather have a motherfucker give me the truth and let that truth sit in than a motherfucker give me a lie that makes me feel happy. You feel me? And I know y'all the same way. And this is what always goes on in the community. That's why they're always sending these folks to us and after us. But we are on game right now. Because their main focus is to have a black person do something to the black community that they want to do, but they wouldn't be allowed. They'd rather just come in and run up in our spot, run up in our party, come to our summits, come around us, come to our picnics. They would love to do that shit. But they know somewhere they're going to be some B1s. And that shit ain't going to pop. Oh yeah. Now the coons can take you so far, the escorts can tell you to come on in, these folks can give you a plate at the barbecue and you come on to the cookout, John and Sally, but eventually you're gonna run into a rider. So their best bet is to say, you know what, let's just go get somebody who's black to go carry out our agenda. And this is why they push who they push in front of us. Anytime you see a black person on TV or on some publication that you ain't never heard of them before, Decoy. Some black person on ABC News, Decoy, NBC News, Decoy, CNN, Decoy. We ain't never heard of them, never seen them before, because they've been hand selected. Hand selected to carry out a supremacist agenda only in blackface. Only in blackface. They gotta go get somebody who walks like you, who talks like you, who acts like you. Somebody who's from where we're from, speaks our lingo. All that is a pass for them to get in. Somebody that can play some Marvin Gaye, might play some goddamn Aretha Franklin or some Whitney Houston, turn up some AlphaCast. See, back in the day, we used to have the house Negro. Now we got something I call the house brother, the house sister. And they're a little more devious. You see, the house Negro, he's like, hey, what's up, man? Hey, how you coming? And then we got hip to that. We start saying, nah, that's Carlton from the Fresh Prince. Get out of here. We don't trust him. He ain't really down enough. But this house brother, he may put cologne on. He may listen to a little R&B music. This house sister, she may wear a natural. She may bust out the shea butter. But on the inside, they the same color as massa. Same color. Because remember this, and this the realest shit ever spoke. A black person without a black mind is a weapon against black people. God damn, that's a motherfucking jewel. Let me run that back. I'm dropping jewels. Let me say that one more time. I said a black person without a black mind is a weapon against black people. Remember that. Write that down. And you gotta know the tactics. You gotta watch it. See, the main thing they do is they'll start talking pro-black stuff like tangibles, resources, revolution. They'll talk all that. And then immediately they'll start talking about integration and swirling. They'll start talking about Democrats and Republicans. They'll say, yeah, power to the people. Rise up. Stand up. One life. No justice, no peace. And then you wait a minute and they'll be like, interracial, swirling, you love who you love, can't we all just get along? Democrat, Republican, Joe Biden, Donald Trump, MAGA, Black Lives Matter, rainbows, all that shit. They'll flip-flop on you real quick and they just waiting to catch you. Give them a minute. Let them talk all that pro-black stuff because that's their main thing. They got to appear to be pro-black. They got to wear that mask and that disguise. And then as soon as they start talking all that pro-black stuff, just let them talk. Immediately after, they'll start advocating for every single group. They'll start advocating for everybody else's agenda. They'll start talking about putting everybody else above us and how we're all one team and we're all one family. Just give them time. Hey, just watch. Give them time. They'll talk that pro-black thing for about 2 minutes. And then they'll spend the next 2 hours advocating for everybody else. And then we'll go right down the list because they got to act like they pro-black to confuse black people. And why do I say they're clever? It's because they know how to come up with shit that's not easily detectable. not easily detectable. They know how to come up with a bunch of different tactics and use a bunch of measures to get their shit off. You know what I'm saying? Let's break some shit down. See, a black decoy, they know how to use words and terms above all. Terminology is the main key. The main key. They know how to take some shit that is off code, mix it with a bunch of words that are on code, spin it around, chop it up, and then hand it back to us. And a lot of people fall for this shit. I be sitting back looking at it and be like, man, how the fuck can you fall for that? I be seeing people really falling for the banana in the tailpipe. Some weak ass shit. I be like, man, get the fuck out of here with that. Ain't no motherfucking way. And the worst ones who do this are Democrats. Democrats, especially blackface Democrats. Yeah, they whole game is just to sit back and see what B1 society talks about, take our words, remix them, and put a liberal label on it. Straight up. They say, oh, B1s are talking about tangibles. Let's mix that up with Democrats. Vote Joe Biden. Oh, B1s are talking about reparations. Let's mix that up. Put a Democrat label on it. Oh, vote for Joe Biden. Black agenda. Vote for Joe Biden. What are they talking about? I'm telling you, they be having motherfuckers on the internet. I'm telling y'all, they got folks on the internet out here watching y'all pages. Out here really watching y'all pages. You be having these followers and these people who pop up on your page. I'm telling you right now, these folks are just spies. They just spies. They seeing what the fuck we talking about. They studying our words, studying our agenda, studying what the fuck we plotting, planning, and strategizing. And then they taking that shit back. Watch your followers, y'all. Watch your followers. I don't give a fuck if you got 10. Watch all 10 of them motherfuckers. Cause they be fronting. It be some real funny style shit going on. And it be these little think tanks. They be going around out here saying, oh, the B1s are talking about that. Let's take that and put that in our agenda. Now, when we take it, we're going to rip everything out of it that means anything that's good for black folks. And we're going to give them a real watered down, empty version. We're going to take our little decoys and we're going to send them in and we're going to push that. That's why all of a sudden, Roland Martin and them were talking about the black agenda. Yeah, come on, please. The term black agenda we never ever heard until this era right here. This certified era are the first people who ever mentioned black agenda. Because remember, our agenda was every other group's agenda. It was all these other terms, and that is what they pushed as our agenda. Once we start saying, no, foundational black American, what about us? Then all of a sudden, I start hearing people say foundational. I did, I'm not lying. I seen some Democrats saying, us as foundationals, they never said that until Tariq and them started pushing that. They start talking about the black agenda. I never heard anybody talking about the black agenda until Jason Black and them started pushing it. This is what they do. But when they said, oh, it's got such liberal fingerprints on it, it don't even mean what we mean. It don't even mean. We got a whole different definition to it. And we're the creators. And then they come in, they spy, they take it, remix it, and push that shit back. That's why Kamala Harris is talking about, ain't that right, Fife Dog? See, before they used to sing and dance and rap to you. Now they're taking our creations and singing them back to us. Got Roland Martin out here talking about something. We've been talking about the black agenda since 91. No, the fuck you ain't. You know the fuck you wasn't. In 91, you was talking about some We Are the World and Martin Luther King Had a Dream. Now, when we start talking about tangibles, now they want to start talking about it. When we start talking about reparations, now they want to start talking about reparations. As a matter of fact, Angela Rye, a blackface Democrat, remember she first came out, when we start talking about reparations, she was saying that was Russian bots on the internet. And then all of a sudden, like 2 weeks later, she goes on the Breakfast Club and she starts talking about reparations like she came up with it. She stole it. She stole it right in front of everybody. She just straight up took it. She's a decoy. Roland Martin, decoy. All of them straight up Democrat decoys. Then you got the Republican decoys like Candace Owens. We were just getting on her early. As a matter of fact, remember how I told y'all that all Candace Owens does is that she shows up to our events and our functions with the intent on disrupting what we're talking about, with the intent of sabotaging us and shifting our energy in another direction, making us fight, argue, and bicker. Well, right here on the Black Alpha Network, we got receipts because we pulling paperwork, because we on one, because we cannot be fucked with. Well, check this out. I'm gonna play you something that's gonna prove that point. Y'all remember that Revolt Summit when all these black folks got together and they were supposed to be talking about black issues right before the election, turned into a goddamn clown show? Well, what happened? Candace Owens showed up with the intention to disrupt, with the intention to prevent us from talking about empowerment, with the intention to take the subject away from black liberation to some bullshit that she's arguing with us about. Let's listen to the clip and you'll see exactly what we mean.
When you say make America great again, which period are we talking about? The period when women couldn't vote? The period when we were hanging from trees?
I'll answer.
Or like the crack era? Which period in America are you trying to make America like
So
again?
I actually think that I would totally rock a hat right now that said make Black America great again. Because Black
No,
America,
make America.
before,
We're talking about
that's
make
not the hat.
America.
But
That wasn't the
no,
question.
I am answering your question.
Which period was America great that we're trying to replicate?
Well,
Which era was it? Tell me.
I think I'll answer your question.
Tell me.
I'm ready to answer your question.
Which era was it?
What?
Which era was so great?
Here's the thing that you guys are forgetting. America was actually one of the slavery was all over the world.
Answer the
All over
question.
the world. America
Answer the
was.
question.
I'm not saying it's okay. So why are you saying oh?
Hey, man.
America was one of the first countries.
I want to like you so bad.
I'm trying to
You're
answer
so
your question.
smart. I want to like you so
If I
much.
can't answer the
I want to
question,
hear
it
you.
doesn't
I want to be able to hear them. I want to be able to hear
If I can't answer
them.
the question and you're just going to boo when I say slavery was all over the world, which is a fact, why are you booing a fact?
Because you're making light of.
No, I'm not.
You're making light
I
of
haven't
the
gotten into my points.
enslavement
I'm not
of
making-
people that look like us. You can't make light of that. That ain't nothing
I
you
haven't
breeze
even
over.
finished the sentence. How am I making
You
light of
started
anything?
with some bull.
That turned into exactly what the fuck you think it would turn into when you allow somebody like her to come. Let me tell you this. Let me say this, because first off, Puff or Diddy or Love or whatever he called himself, he's a decoy too. He's one of these guys who acts like he's talking all pro-black, man, because we excellent and we this and we that, and his ass go right to that ledge and he say, nope, ain't gonna go that far. Ain't gonna do that. His whole revolt channel and all that, that's the Decoy network. Straight up and down, straight up, paperwork pulled. Yes, we did, Puff. Nonetheless, what is Candace Owens doing on that stage for? What the fuck is she there for? Is anything about Candace Owens pro-black? Does anybody think Candace Owens is pro-black? Or is she just a Republican in blackface? And she's there to kick Republican policies the same way Angela Rye and them kick Democratic policies. They put their parties over blackness because quite frankly, they don't even want to be black. Let's just get to the point. And I'll say this as well. What the fuck is the criteria? We talk about having a code, y'all. Y'all know we got a code. Y'all know goddamn well, if that was anything B1, she ain't coming. If that was anything certified, she ain't coming. If that was anything FBA, she ain't coming. And this is why we enforce our own. Because that's their code. That's the revolt code right there, okay? That's the Killer Mike. Right here in Atlanta, which is what I told you earlier, a bag of mixed emotions. That's why they're all out there bickering, fussing, and fighting instead of talking about some real shit. That's why you don't see no real ones at that summit. You don't see no Dr. Claus. You don't see no Dr. Cobblers. You don't see none of that. You see a bunch of think I'm woke, want to be woke, try to be woke, can't be woke, die woke ass motherfuckers. You know damn well on the certified side, that'll never go on with us. It's only going to be a bunch of real ones. And we're going to be talking about real, tangible things. Things that are material that you can touch, feel. You feel me? Straight up, if Candace Owens can come to your summit, what the fuck is the criteria? If Candace Owens can come, you might as well just tell goddamn Bill O'Reilly to come. You might as well tell Fox News to come, CNN to come. You might as well have goddamn Cardi B show up, Lizzo, motherfucking Rachel Dolezal might as well be the goddamn MC. And that's the games that we talk about, and that's that counterfeit energy. And we represent the flip side, certified energy, and that's why we winning and they losing. More paperwork to pull. Same with Ben Crump. Ben Crump will go on television. Oh, hey, y'all know he's gonna get him. You know he's gonna get him. We talking about decoys. We got to get him off rip. By the way, check out my video about Crump. We get him real good. He'll come on TV and he'll say, justice for Trayvon and justice for black Americans who have been subjected to all of these inequities on the next episode of Who Killed Tupac. That bullshit ass show. Y'all ever saw that? Y'all know he a decoy. Because they didn't show Johnny Cochran this much love. They was doing any and everything to stop Johnny Cochran. Ben Crump, he getting television shows. He a decoy. He uses a bunch of terms like targeting of black people, disenfranchised, disparities, all these words that evoke emotion out of us, and then he goes behind the doors and he signs the check. He's just a lawyer decoy. Kamala Harris and Barack Obama are politician decoys. Charlemagne, DJ Envy are radio decoys. Candace Owens is a Republican decoy. Roland Martin is a Democrat decoy. We name them, we spot them, we got them. And that's what they are. But their biggest problem is certified black folks can't be confused. We too motherfucking strong. Know that. But that's the motherfucking play. And that's how they try to come at us. And we all know that. We all aware of that. And that's the decoy. But since we done broke down the decoy and all they little motherfucking tricks, tactics, and all they games, now let's pull some motherfucking paperwork. Let's have some goddamn fun. Let's start putting some names and some dates to these motherfuckers. Y'all down with it? I'm down with it. Oh, yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. ABG. Anybody can get it. We snatching anybody's paperwork if they off brand, if they off code, if they out of pocket, if our flags go up, then we gotta regulate. Gotta regulate. You getting checked on site if your paperwork ain't right. Straight up. And that's the way it is, and that's the way it's gonna be. All that shady shit, funny style, all them goofies, we put the spotlight on them. Nice and clean, nice and clear, checkmate. Now you remember I said anybody can get it. I'm talking about the celebrity all the way to the regular person. Let's talk about some shit that I done seen. I was checking out some of my people on Twitter, right? And I used to see this cat on there. And I seen a lot of people was kind of looking at him funny. You know, I seen a lot of his exchanges and I used to see this dude. People used to be looking at this guy and he came across funny. I would see his page and some of his tweets was kind of funny style, kind of shady. I ain't paying too much of attention, but I noticed that other people were picking up on it because that's the B1 family. If one don't get you, the next one will. But then a few days later, I see that he got kicked out of Melanoid Nation. And Tariq done put up a whole thing about this guy, talking about he was funny style and he was jealous and he was this, that, and the other thing. And I sat back and said, damn, here I go picking up something that my B1 family's picking up, that the Melanoid Nation is picking up, that certified blacks all across the board is picking up, and all of our radars went up and all of our flags went up. And that's what I call being on code, and that's what I call certified energy. So basically, all the B1s pulled his paperwork and it was trash, and they got him up out of there. Ain't seen him since. So salute to all my real ones. That's how we handle things. And you gotta watch for them because they come in all different shapes and sizes. All different shapes and sizes. You got groups. I'll name one for you right now. Black Lives Matter. That whole organization is a bunch of decoys. Shit, they are the biggest decoys. They are a bunch of people who done took billions of dollars, done cashed out off of the black struggle. They are paid decoys. Bought and paid, well financed. Well financed. And it ain't black. So the BLM, that don't mean black. We're gonna go ahead and cut that today. That does not mean black. It is not Black Lives Matter. The B is there, but it don't mean black. Y'all know what the B stand for. Yeah. Oh yeah. Put it this way. It rhymes with cookie, but it starts with a B and ends with a Y. And got two S's in the middle. Because they ain't talking about ours. Because ours is certified black and B1. And everything that we kick, they kick a completely different ideology. And they insert everybody else's agenda, and then they claim that it's us. No, it ain't. We reject that, call that out. See, we ain't got to pull their paperwork because their paperwork been pulled a long time ago. That's why don't nobody even see them. And the average person in the street don't even deal with them. They're so insignificant and irrelevant, they're pretty much nobodies. Nobodies, because their paperwork has been pulled. They were running around all day long getting propped up and put on pedestals and coming and hijacking all of our rallies and stuff. But people done pulled that paperwork, seen all the asterisks and all the checks, and now they're pretty much nobodies. Nobodies. And the money's dried up. So that's why you don't see them no more. They're a Democrat front, they're a everybody else front, but they damn sure ain't B1. Therefore, paperwork pulled, blocked, ran off. Straight up and down. And I done seen some of them literally get ran off the block. For real, literally. Because they come and try to hijack the movement, and that won't be tolerated. I told you. I mean, these organizations are bought and paid for. So you know they decoys. These groups are owned by billionaires. And these billionaires are not black people. Half these organizations that you see that are shifty and shady, half of these organizations are ran by other people. Ran by foreigners. They're not in the best interest of us. So therefore, everybody a part of these groups are decoys. Simple as that. You can come around on some decoy. You can come around playing games, but eventually you're going to see a rider, and it gets real. It gets real, and we're going to leave it at that. These fake black news networks, decoys, all their owners, CEOs, COOs, they're all non-black people. And if they're black, they're foreign blacks, so they're not certified, they're not B1, they're not FBA. All these actors and shit that be getting these Oscars, they're not FBA. They're all non-FBA, and not even the real ones or the riders. Nope, They're the ones who come over here and get the Sambo dancing, straight up, start talking down on us. They're just decoys. They're acting like they're FBA, they're decoys. These news organizations, they're acting like they're real grassroots black. They're not. None of these people are grassroots. and their whole image is to act like they're grassroots. But they're all paid for, brought to you by supremacy and blackface. That's it. Go look at it. Go Google who's behind all these organizations. Go Google who's behind all these networks. And what you're going to see? You're going to see a bunch of non-B1s. So anytime the face is black, anytime the logo is black, anytime they put black in the terms, anytime they put black in the word, but none of the bosses and none of the leaders are advocating for black people, then you know you're dealing with some agents, narcs, decoys, snakes, and we calling them out. I got some more for you. You got all these other groups who run around here and try to eat off our struggle, and they use these little tactics in these games, but you also have individuals. Oh yes, you do. Celebrities, we got them by the dozen. But you also got radio people, you know, like the Breakfast Club. Gosh, I know people been trying to get rid of them for the longest because real black folks don't mess with them. No way. You got Charlemagne, Envy, Angela Yee. Angela Yee represents everybody else lives matter. She don't represent ours. And you notice anytime it's a subject about us, she's always ducking her head down or she's absent from the show. Now, if she's sitting there talking about other groups that Joe Biden writes laws for, then all of a sudden she'll be right there asking questions, challenging people. But when it comes to us, out the door. Now, she don't mind sitting there talking about hip hop culture and rap music and trying to have a say so on what goes on with our creation. But anytime it has something to do with our community and our empowerment, all of a sudden she's gone. Decoy. Charlemagne. I mean, we ain't even got to go there on him. His paperwork been pulled a long time ago. Literally. We sitting here talking about pulling paperwork, but this guy done had his paperwork pulled and it's filthy. I'm talking about he done did some real things, real dirty. Hey, go Google it. Y'all probably already know what I'm talking about. Go see it. It's all documented. Go look at this man's past. So this guy sits here and he plays games with folks. He's the radio guy, tries to agitate people. But if you go look at his past and his paperwork, he is in no position to open his mouth about nobody. Kwame Brown shut all that up. And they try to send lawyers at him. Hey, he tried to send lawyers. You know he is straight up decoy. Straight up decoy. All the way around, all the way through. So he got his paperwork pulled in real life and he's off the block. Envy, this is the guy who said, Ma'Khia Bryant, she deserved it. He said it out his own mouth. I must be a coon. Yep, damn right you is then. I guess so. All they are Democratic agents. During the election, they was trying to act like they was us and kind of telling people not to vote, but then they told people to vote and then they didn't tell you who to vote for because what they were trying to do, they were trying to look pro-black and still serve the Democrats because the Breakfast Club, they ain't nothing but a bunch of Democratic agents. They came out for Kamala Harris. They threw a press conference. They went on Fox News and be like, no, Kamala said some old funny style shit. And they went back and they was trying to reel it in for her. I mean, they was doing work. They were like, she didn't really mean what she meant when she said what she didn't say, but she couldn't have said it because she did. I was sitting there like, what the fuck? You know when the motherfucker's trying to straddle a fence that does not exist? Anytime someone's trying to straddle a fence that ain't there, they end up looking crazy. And that's exactly what happened. They're just Democratic agents with a hip hop swag. Play a couple rap songs, interview a few rappers, and promote the Democrats the rest of the time. I see him. We see ya. Paperwork. Marcus Lemoist. Hey, y'all seen him? He be sitting there with his bow tie tied too tight. He be sitting there talking all that black stuff. Well, it's black people and, there is some problems with black folks. They'll always admit to things that go on with us, but they'll only admit it to a certain degree. Okay? They only do that so they can get your attention. So they'll be like, yeah, blacks get treated this way. And yes, blacks have it wrong. And yes, we do have bad things happen to us. But Democrats, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Democrats. They'll throw that on top. So they're only using our condition as a talking point so they can reel you in and they can push everybody else. That's what they do. Lemoyce Hill does that all the time. He's another decoy. I done seen him go to these little black functions and black summits and he shows up like he's out there with the real ones and the riders. And really, he's just there to con. He ain't really there about nothing. He spent years acting like he was a grassroots brother and you come to find out he's just undercover. So all of them, decoys. BLM, decoys. All these celebrities, decoys. And all their paperwork, snatched. Believe that. But yo, this was today's episode of the Black AlphaCast. We building, we working all the way up. It was good chopping it up, man. Hey, we done broke down some game today. We done broke it all down. We done broke down every single aspect of these agents, these decoys, every single tactic, all the motherfucking moves. No matter what they do, there's nothing they gonna ever get off on us because we too strong and we zoned in. And that's the beauty of being certified, and that's the beauty of being us. Always on game, always stay strong, and always focus. For sure. Follow me on Twitter, by the way, Black Alpha Net W1. Follow me on Instagram, Black Alpha Net W1. We working. But yo, it's been good breaking it down with y'all, chopping it up with y'all. Like always, much respect, much appreciation, much admiration for every single one of y'all. Because when we say Black Alpha Network, that means all of us as a team. Everybody included, everybody a rider. And if you see a decoy, call them out and run them off the block. But yo, it's been good pulling paperwork with y'all, snatching motherfuckers up. I salute you. Anybody who don't like it, fuck them. Anybody who loves it, one love. Y'all stay safe out there. Y'all stay connected out there and hold each other down, for sure. Remember one thing, and you already know what it is. Black is beautiful and beautiful is black.